wait, hold on. It's out of gas there, right?
What? Oh no, it'll still start.
Still start, but it's out of gas. See, fresh out, boy.
Oh shit.
Can't have that.
What's up everybody? Yo, so in the last video, we worked on the Ktm 105, the disassemble of it. That was part one. This is gonna be part two, the reassemble of it, putting all the bearings in, and go ahead and putting this whole engine back together. Get all these parts off this table, and get this bike out of here, you know what I mean? I appreciate all y'all, and that's enough talking. Let's go and get into this engine. Pretty much everything's already laid out. Long time no see, my friend. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna do the heat freeze method with these bearings. So pretty much what you do is you heat the cases up where the bearing sits in, and you freeze the bearing overnight. So I've been having the bearings in the freezer. They've been chilling all night. When you freeze it, it'll shrink up just enough to where it can slide in there a lot easier. And when you heat it up, it'll expand the metal, hopefully just enough to where you can just slide them bearings right on in there. But we're gonna go get the bearings now, and we're gonna go and start heating up these cases. All right. Oh, beautiful. And just like that, the heat freeze method works. Beautiful. Yeah, we're gonna put some Loctite on this one, just because this one slides in and out so easy. Just put some blue Loctite around it, just enough to keep it snug. And that's how you install the bearings in the cases. It might take you a few tries. You don't want to force them. You know, you might have to tap them a little bit with the sockets, but you don't want to force these bearings in there. And to make sure they're in all the way, you can check the other side to make sure they're flush. And these bearings, they're seated all the way. All right, so now we'll install the transmission components and the shift components back into the case. All right, and before we install everything, you want to grease up all the bearings. Make sure all these bearings are good to go. All right, now just mesh everything together. Make sure it's working properly. Slide it on in. All right, and make sure your forks, you got the right forks on each side. It's kind of hard to mix them up. Slide them in those little collars. You can see right there, a little collar for this gear. Goes up and down. Goes right in there. And this goes on the left side, and that collar right there. And next, your shift drum. And you want to put all those pegs in the shift drum. Just got to lift the gears up and mess with it a little bit. All right, now get your shift rails, put some grease on them, put some grease inside them too, help them out. And then just slide those rails into place. Make sure they spring up and down, and repeat the process with the other one. Like so. When it binds up like that, it means something's wrong. You don't have something in place right. So you want to make sure you get the transmission right before you continue. Yep. And like I said, just make sure your transmission is good. Make sure you can go through it and nothing's binding up. All I had to do was just spin this shift drum around. The pegs were in the wrong holes, or in the wrong slots. But yeah, this transmission is good now, nice and free. You can go ahead and grease up the rest of the bearings and install the crankshaft. Then we can go and put these cases together. seal setting and make sure it's good for the gasket. And we can go on and put these cases together. And my homemade engine stand, and it works perfect too. All right, let's install this case. Is that lining up? All right, so I had to take the engine back apart, and this little washer that I thought went on the shaft, it did not. And now we got a free transmission. So we'll go and get this back on the stand. All right, so now we can go install the clutch components and the gear components on the clutch side. When you install the shift locator, you want to put some thread locker on this bolt right here. All right, so when you install the shifter shaft, make sure you have the stop disc in between the shifter shaft itself and the case. But yeah, just make sure when you install this to go through all the gears, make sure it's working properly. And then if everything checks out good, then go ahead and install the rest of the clutch component. And for this bolt right here that mounts this assembly together, make sure it's got some Loctite on it. Drop that in there like so. Put a little Loctite up there. Loctite is very important. And you want to hold this spring when you put that bolt in. So now we can go and put on the gear for the main shaft, the clutch itself, and the primary gear for the crankshaft. All right, so when we put this primary gear on, we got this flywheel holder tool and hold it tight. And we're going to torque this gear down to 60 foot-pounds. All right, we got that torque down. Now we can go and install the clutch. All right, the clutch nut, you torque it down to 44 foot-pounds. Get your clutch holder tool. All right, your pressure plates, you want to have them soaking in gear oil, because if not, they can dry out and crack. I'm going to start with pressure plate and make sure the sharp edge facing up, and then just repeat the process. And you want to end with the pressure plate. Now we can go and put the cap on the clutch itself. We can go and finish up the clutch side. All right, go on and insert that little ball bearing back in the hydraulic clutch. Just line it up. And when you tighten up these bolts, make sure you go on a diagonal pattern, just so you get an even tighten on the clutch itself. gasket installed. Now we're ready to go and put this clutch cover on. Install this clutch cover. Alright, so we're finished with the clutch side. Got all the bolts torqued down. Now, we gotta put the cylinder on, the piston on, and the revalve case on. And then we're gonna have to go and put this engine back in the frame so we can go and get the stator on and put the hydraulic clutch pump on. And then we'll be ready to start this thing up soon. Just fill up with fluids and be good to go. All right, let's see what we got here. There's a clips for the piston ring, brand new Wiseco piston. You love to see it. All right, let's go and install this thing. Hopefully we don't need more than one. Hopefully. Put the rag down. Remember to put that air up front towards the exhaust duct. Ready for your piston. And when you put the circlips in, there's this little groove right here. Don't put these circlips where these clips end. Don't put that right there where the groove's at. You want to have it flipped where it's whole on the back side where that groove's at, so you know it won't slip out. All right, circlips are in. All right, we can go and install this piston ring, and then we can go and put the cylinder on. There's a little notch. You can see it right there in the middle. These two grooves goes around that notch right there. So it'll sit in there like this. All right, let's go and install the cylinder. There we go. Alright, you want to take this bolt out for the power valve. You want to put some Loctite up there. And we're going to have to adjust the flap on this power valve. I'm going to adjust it with this gauge. And then tighten it up. Alright, once you got this bolt tightened and you got this flap adjusted right with the setting tool, then you can go and put the cover on with the gasket. And you want to put the flange on the exhaust side. And just snug it up pretty good. Tighten these bolts diagonally. Sprockets up there. So next we're going to install the shifter and the Kickstarter. Alright, we're going to apply the Kickstarter. Put some Loctite up there. You want to torque the Kickstarter and the shifter to 12 foot-pounds. I mean to 10 foot-pounds. engine spins freely. That's good. Now we can go and throw it in the frame. We got the flywheel installed. Now we just gotta tighten set screws. Get this tool, go to the other side, and you want to drop it in there until it touches the top of the cylinder, and that's where you can put your lines at. You want to line these marks up right here, and you have to turn the stator in the back to get the right adjustment. Make sure you put some Loctite on the bolt itself. Alright, now we can go install the slave cylinder for the clutch. Go and put the shock back on. Go and connect the coolant hoses. We're going to put this beast back together the rest of the way, finish assembling it, put all the fluids in it, mix some gas for it. Got the chain tight, everything's nice and tight, seats on there. Now we just got to fill it with fluids, put some coolant in it, put some transmission oil in it, and put the gas in it. And the man who I've been wanting to see. I'm glad you're here.
Huh?
I said, I'm glad you're here.
What happened?
It's about that time.
All right.
Yes, sir.
We're hurt. We're hurt.
Oh yeah, we're about to hear it right now. This is the day.
Complete scratch.
Complete, yep, from scratch. Now it's time to see what she can do.
Yeah, let them know what you're doing here, what you're gonna do.
Oh yeah. I have, like, through the video, I explain what I do and stuff.
Okay, because that way, man, you did a lot.
Heck yeah, I did a lot.
I didn't know you had it in you.
Come on, man.
I didn't.
How we feeling, boy? How we feeling?
I'm good.
Oh, all right, so we were stressing about the bike a little bit. It wasn't running right. It wouldn't even start. But the kid over here, he said, give it a little bit of throttle. Gave it a little bit of throttle and it cranked right up. And man, so Landon, how was it?
Freaking noise.
Oh my goodness. All right, let's see if we can get it one time. It's already been started though, so don't think it's first or second kick.
Right. Wait, hold on. It's out of gas there, right?
What? Oh no, it'll still start.
Still start, but it's out of gas. But see, fresh out, we.
She starts and she runs. And that thing is noise. Yep. Overall, the engine's good. The build went great. When I'm talking, I'll see you on the morning. Peace. Kid, today's the day. Oh my gosh, what a rookie. We get to ride the Ktm 105.
We.
We'll throw some gas in it. See if she starts first kick. Just enough. Just enough to get her ass down the street back. Back her out so I don't kill us.
It's too early for this, boy. Holy cow.
Good morning, Granddad.
Check on.
Yeah.
Gas on.
You're a smart
Oh, she wants it, boy.
She wants it. Carb.
Saying it's cold. Yeah, the carb too. The carb's a little. Yes, sir.
Keep it idle. Yeah, it just needs a little TLC, needs a little fuel, but the engine's good. Ah, shit. Think we out of gas, boys. Well, gotta walk this motherfucker back too. Ah, it's all good. Damn it, I should have put more gas in it. Hey, this beast runs though. That's all that matters. She just needs a little carb work, that's all. Go. Rebuild solid. Good little morning exercise. That's where I almost had my first accident right there. Fell in that ditch. Almost hit that mailbox. It was bad. Yes, sir, I need this exercise. We gonna make it. I'll see y'all there. You ready, boy?
Sure is. The gas is on if it's like that, right?
Yep.
Check on or not?
Nah, pull it up.
Huh?
Pull the choke up. That's it. On the top right here. Yes, sir, boy. Be careful. Keep going. I was about to say, you're gonna have to give it some gas. Hey! You! Hey! Yo! Landon! You! Yeah. Hey, stay on the gravel. Don't go over there. It's soft. Stay on this. It's soft over here. Yes, sir. I did a hell of a good job. I ain't gonna lie. Bitch, she right.
It was good.
That bitch starts right up too. That makes it feel so good. All right, so the 07 KTM 105 checks out. Engine's good, fully rebuilt. It's definitely a good bike, good beginner two-stroke to have, and it's a KTM. I mean, it's a quality bike. I had fun building it. I was stressed out too building it, but it is what it is. I'm glad I got it done. I learned a lot from this, and now the next bike, it'll be 10 times easier, so I'll get it done a lot quicker. Won't be much of a headache either, because the next bike, it ain't gonna be broke down. It's gonna be just like this, so I know where everything's at. And just like the 85 and the 450 is the same way. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Glad my nephew was with me to end this video, and yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.